thanks, guys.
It seemed a bit like they forgot our names as well.
Yeah, I think...
Ours are pretty simple. Come on, Sam.
Well, I think Tridd kind of threw everybody off on the desk
Absolutely.
there. He had one job, that one line, sitting there prepping it for 3 days. No, he didn't. He messed it up. But God, that's the first mess up. It takes a little heat off of us. But the heat is going to be on in this game. Like they pegged it, it's going to be one of the closest games of today. Orgless and Hungary versus Team Singularity. Only one map win between the both of them in week number 1.
Absolutely. They're both looking a little bit shaky coming in, but they were against the Giants of Group A. And you don't really expect them to do that well unless they're going to come out with a breakout performance and just shock everybody. But unfortunately, it went as we expected. And it looks like we're going to be getting straight into Ilios. All of our games today will be starting with Ilios, of course, and Team Singularity in the blue. Orgless and Hungary going to be taking up the red side today. Exactly that.
And we kind of looked at Team Singularity last week, and we said, you know, Farl was in, he was doing his midterm, so he was studying alongside obviously playing the game. Exactly, maybe a little bit distracted in that front. And Danny was feeling a little bit sick as well. And in fact, Danny's not actually on Team Singularity's roster this time around, so he's actually going to get subbed out. So let's have a look at Orgless and Hungary then instead, because Visibility is one of those big guys that we saw last week, and he kind of overshadowed Shax, something that we didn't think actually would happen.
Yeah, we thought Shax would be coming in as the most explosive DPS. He's got a lot of his peers bigging him up. They say he's incredibly explosive. You need to watch this man. But instead it was Visibility coming out on a numerous amount of hero picks, always bringing something new to the table, and always a little bit confounding for their enemies as they came through here.
Exactly that, as the clock does tick down. Ruins is a very, very heavy favoured Widow map, and I'm not too surprised to see Facility on it, but they can run the Sombra also, which he did pop off with in week number 1. So if he does want to go for that change-up, it is in his wheelhouse to do so. Obling is going to match him on the Widowmaker pick-off here. But Facility not quite finding the enemy Widow, that secret spy, not finding her mark just yet, but already seems like Orgless Hungary pushed back a little bit here. Team Singularity more than happy to take the point fairly early, although Lind is a little bit caught out with Shax actually finding him also, but Fal is actually going to take it to his support. And in fact, that will be Orgless and Hungary wiping for the moment.
Indeed, Orgless and Hungary losing both their supports incredibly early, and that's something you've got to really think about when you're bringing someone new into a roster against a sort of dive competition. Is Immortal in the right places to be peeling for Eps? If he's not, then it's going to mean that Eps is incredibly, pretty easy to take out. And oh, okay, Lin's gone down first, and Cave as well.
Shax actually takes both down supports here, so it should be a pretty easy fight. Those Infocytes are going to clean up the rest of the tanks. Malfig takes a headshot from Facility. He's already showing and flexing his Widow muscles. Oh, wobbling. Got to be careful, buddy. You don't want to stag yourself too much. The point goes over, and only 22% Team Singularity were able to acquire.
And you can see just how much Facility is outperforming Obling on this particular hero. He's just used the Infocytes. He's going to start building it up again. Meanwhile, Obling sitting on only 54% of his ult charge. However, Farl is going to be sitting down with that all-important pulse. It's going to be matched by Shax, but he can potentially put this on Eps, get a couple of early picks onto the supports again, and leave Orgless and Hungary without any healing. Oh, there it is!
That's exactly what he wanted to do, and the Lucio goes extremely low. Cave and Lind get 2v1'd by Shax. He's the guy that's stepping up this time around. Orgless and Hungary, they're going to get a few more percent on the clock. That was very, very close. Obling almost had your head there, but Shax instead turns it around completely.
Turns out an explosive DPS is exactly the right word for Shax, making sure that he could blow away Lind and Cave thereafter with a couple of extra shots. And now Team Singularity, they're sitting pretty on 4 ultimates, both their tank ultimates, and now they're going to know exactly where Orgless and Hungary are going to be sitting on. Question is, what are they going to do with this information? They know where the supports are. Can they get onto them effectively?
Yeah, Falhau's got that pulse bomb, so it's critical information for him. Malfig just making sure he can fend off the Winston for now. He's trying to target those supports, but likewise, Nerf doing exactly the same thing as Tonic, jumping into the backline with his own Primal Rage. A really early Transcendence here coming through for Ebbs. Doesn't actually manage to save his Winston or his Sniper. And that will be Finzi taking out Cave with a self-destruct. They're still contesting, mind you, and there's 2 beefy tanks, but that pulse bomb is surely going to reduce some of those health bars. Malfig's actually going to use that self-destruct to clear the point as well. Obling cannot land the shot onto Shax. This guy is way too nimble, even gets the recall off as well. So Singularity push back once again.
Obling forced to look on in dismay there as he couldn't really get on the point. A little 200 HP Widow isn't going to be much for contesting that, and Orgless and Hungary remain in control. This is the final fight, the final chance here for Team Singularity. Obling desperately needs to get a pick now. He needs to show up. It's not been a very good Widow game from him. Now's his final chance to do this.
It's his final chance to shine. First off, though, they're actually going to activate the Transcendence in coming forward to make sure his tanks stay nice and healthy. Obling gets taken out by Facility, so that spark we were looking for from him is completely snuffed out. out, although Nerfed is going to be able to pick up that pressure. Overtime's ticking through, but Singularity have control of the point for now. A nice recall coming through from Falf, just to make sure he stays alive, or I should say Shax. The Pulse Bomb did go onto one of the tanks, but just healed up rather quickly. Shax finds the DMEC in the end with a couple of last pistol shots, and that'll be Singularity if they can stay on it for a moment longer and take out that baby D.Va, reclaiming the point.
But took their sweet time with it, Jaws. 99% in favor of Orgless and Hungary, and now Team Singularity can't afford a single mistake. If they lose the point, they will lose this particular stage of Ilios. Overling had the infra sites. They're now gone, so Orgless and Hungary can make a bit more of a safe engagement here. No one knows where we're going to be coming from unless he can get the information from the remainder of his team. It's going to be down to Mulfig and Nerfed to lay down that reconnaissance for Overling.
Yeah, that he will. But the problem is right now, Overling's just not had a very good game. This sight line is covered by a lot of those platforms, especially that Winston bubble protecting them also. Team Singularity are going to break it down, but Lin didn't really stand a chance, not against Shax, who just managed to one-clip him. Beautiful shot from Facility, taking out Molfig as that self-destruct was rattling. He can't quite find Obling. That shield a little bit too hard to penetrate for the time being, although if he gets a nice shot on this Tracer, this might just be GG. Fincy finds Cave as well. They're just harassing the point right now. Facility, sorry, taking out Obling once again. That's at least 3-0 on the War of the Widows for the time being. Fincy finds him, but Shax's going to be there to back up his other support. A nice Transcendence comes through to save Orgless and Hungary's lives, and they're going to cap the point as well. We're ticking down in overtime, and Cave, he's going to have to make something work here, but a quad on a Lucio, not something you normally see on Ruins. Overtime ticks through, and that should be Orgless and Hungary taking the first map.
And I imagine Facility is making sure he's put Obling in his place. Obling's going to be pretty nervous about going in for any future Widow duels. Dominance coming through from Facility. And something I'd really like to point out from him is that he wasn't always a forward-facing Widow. Sometimes he was pretty happy to just rotate that 90 degrees, look towards his supports where the tanks of Singularity were diving, and just start chunking down those big beefy targets, making sure they weren't going to last as long.
Yeah, and I did mention earlier that a lot of these players, you know, they had their finals, and Danny on one of the other teams was a little bit ill, and now it seems this week everybody's back at their full strength, and I think that's exactly where Orgless and Hungary are as well. Facility doing such a good job on that Widowmaker is now actually going to switch over to the Pharah, something that we've pegged a lot of other players to actually be rather destructive on, and Foul being one of those, and in fact, there isn't actually a Mercy on the side of Team Singularity here, so that pocket in the air isn't going to be available to him.
Maybe swap. We'll have to see if he's just going to do the initial speed boost here. Yes, it does look like that's going to be the case. He's going to fly out after Far now, but instead now it's going to be Far versus Facility. Obling is given over the mantle of a 1v1 in the air over to his co-DPS, and now he's going to be picking up the trace for himself. Far was incredibly effective on that, got a lot of good pulse from 6. The question is, will Obling be able to pick up the mantle effectively?
Being extremely aggressive here, Facility trying to rain death from above. Is going to spot File in midair, can't quite land the body shot for the time being, so actually just goes back to peppering the tanks. Obling finds the first blood of the game in Immortal. And Immortal is a player that has only recently come back into the roster as well. You've got to imagine that the synergy and coordination isn't entirely there just yet. Maybe it takes another week or so to kind of round up. Foul finds Tonic. Facility looking to back off here as they do end up securing the point that is Team Singularity.
And a good start here for Team Singularity. No ults on the board yet, but Obling's about to get that Pulse Bomb. His main target here is, of course, going to be Immortal. We can try and put it on Tonic. If Lind can apply that Discord Orb to Tonic, the Pulse Bomb will one-shot the Winston, which is incredibly effective, making sure there's no beef for Orgless and Hungry to try and bully out Team Singularity from this point.
Thing is, though, got to put it into question. That Valkyrie is going to come online very, very shortly for Cave. In fact, he's only just dinged it, and Epps is absolutely no way near his at the 70% mark. She's going to pop that instantly to get some immediate effect. Obling just playing around the point for now, is very, very aware that Facility is up in the skies, ready to just one-shot him if he's not careful. Has found Shax in the backline, fighting over the big health. That's a big res. That's actually a very greedy res from Cave. Gets Lind up in the end. Obling takes out Shax in the meantime. Facility finding his enemy in Fal. Monkey's going extremely low, but he's just going to be able to leap to safely. Obling, he's still darting around this point, making sure he can contest it for as long as possible. Facility is going to take out Molfig with the help of Fincy, and that should be Augustus' point.
Team Singularity there deciding not to come in and contest. We're just going to save their lives, try and make a clean disengagement here. It's down to August and Hungry to see if they can pick up anyone as they try and retreat. Question is, are they going to be able to avoid the barrage coming through from Facility? They need to have made sure they packed for umbrellas, because Justin's going to be raining from above. Also Justice. Don't trust Justin's. Especially for a weatherman.
You had a bad experience or something with Justin in the past?
Yeah.
The weatherman told you something wrong. You're like, oh, I should have packed a coat today, but unfortunately it's really hot. Opening does find Tonic with the pulse bomb. Shax is going to dash him to the point because he needs to be able to contest right now, but Transcendence does keep him alive for the time being. There's the beat. It has been dropped. We're still sticking on board with Shax, who's contesting as much as he can, but Opening finds the back smack, and Foul opens the fight up really huge. And in fact, Visibility is going to find a couple for himself. In fact, a triple kill as Molfig falls as well. And that was the 1v1 of the Faras. Opening managed to pistol whip EPZ, and that will be the point being recapped by Team Singularity.
Only 42% here. Gained by Orgless and Hungry. Now Team Singularity, they're ticking up towards a victory here. 61%. They want to try and even up the Ilya. Oh, okay. From long range with a damage boost at a one-shot, a Tracer. Unfortunate for Opening, and that is exactly the opening that Orgless and Hungry were looking for. They need to try and get onto the point with their tanks now and force Team Singularity in. Okay. Oh, so many rockets.
Yeah, so many rockets were direct there. Just managed to pick him off. No Mercy Brave enough yet to go for the res on the Pharah. However, Tonic is going to unleash the Primal Rage to try and bat people off of that point. It's my point. Tonic wants it. He wants it now. But can he actually secure it? I don't think he can. Finzy's going to have to help him pick up those kills. Remember, Winston melee only does about a 40 damage. Although Finzy does get booted off the no, Finzy finds Opening actually. It's in fact Molfig who gets booted off the edge in the end. Orgless and Hungry are going to find this one at 90% flipped around. Epps has actually got that Valkyrie as well, so wasn't able to actually punch the Q key in time, but that doesn't really matter because now it's in their control. It's better that he actually saved the ult at that point.
Team Singularity, they need to think about win conditions here. They need to win one fight and then deal with staggers coming in. So I'd say you can probably make a dry fight here, try and get some ults out of Orgless and Hungry, build up your own, and then make one decisive final engagement. Already, out come both Valkyries. Epps and Cave going to be laying down a huge amount of healing, so they're definitely not going for a dry fight here. They're committing, they're going in, and Shax is already dashed their hopes. There goes Lind, but there's a flip.
There's a complete flip. Team Singularity just jumped straight on the point. Orgless and Hungry retreated, even though their Valkyrie was going on. Now the Forest are going to have to contest, and that's dangerous ground for them. They don't want to be too close. A nice rocket barrage was just completely blocked, it seems, by the Diva from Orgless and Hungry. Shax takes out two, though, as soon as they enter the point. A nice double click on the headshot will be an easy cleanup. Again, flipped around, 99% in overtime. It will now go to Orgless and Hungry.
Well, Team Singularity, I said they should go for a dry fight, but why would you take the advice of a caster? You're the pro players. They have used almost all of their ultimates and now far from the spawn. Oh, he's taken up Visibility. He's going to swap now over to something a little bit more maneuverable. He's back on the Pharah, and now they've got just a couple of seconds to try and engage here while Visibility's down. That barrage is out of a fight, Jaws. They're not going to have to worry about it for now, but they may have to worry about it in the dying seconds of Ilios.
That was a very, very dirty swap there. Foul is going to come down and just make sure he can pin down those tanks, squishy them up, just so his Tracer can finish them off. Very, very close was Epps actually going down. Foul's trying to find his man, but she's just going to be able to dive out of the point and get it taken out by Molfig instead. A beautiful direct hit rocket as soon as she went out for the self-destruct. Facility will go down to just one, and Foul just contesting that point. He knows he can stay safe. That Transcendence is alive, and he needs to just be able to make sure he can clean the rest of these kills up. 99% to 99. The time ticks over, and that is a round secure from Team Singularity, bringing the map to one apiece.
And we can see a little bit of a difference in approach here from these two sides. And we've got a question, how big is Immortal's hero pool? We haven't really seen much out of him. We've only seen the Lucio thus far. But here, the side of Singularity decided to run Lind on the Zenyatta while they had Cave on the Mercy. I'd love to see if Immortal can bring out that sort of Zenyatta Mercy combination for Orgless and Hungry, or if he's going to be sticking to the Lucio. Of course, on the well, that big murder pit in the middle, you want those boops, you want the knockback potential, the control potential of the Lucio, as well as the speed boost to try and make a clean engagement here.
I was really hoping we'd see the Roadhog Narissa. We did see it in week number 1, but teams kind of straying towards this far-oriented composition more often than not now. Makes a lot of sense. The aerial superiority is so important. And we haven't even seen a lot of McCree either, that is just so good at dealing with these Tracers and Faras. It's more been on the soldiers, or we'll just counter that by going Pharah Mercy ourselves.
Of course, Pine bringing Ilios McCree to fame in the Overwatch League, but here we are in Contenders. We'll have to see. Oh, okay. Facility going to open this up. A direct onto Wobling with a damage boost. You've got to be really careful if you're a Tracer. Don't catch those, my friend. They're not great for your health. A cheeky res coming through.
They are going to get the res, though, but that Diva and Winston are just happy to dive that one. Shax does find his enemy in the Tracer, but for the time being, it doesn't like Team Singularity have the point on guard. Although, I say that, Fal actually drops to he just disappears in thin air as Finzy takes him out. In fact, it's a double kill for Finzy as he does take out the Pharah as well. That turned completely around. It looked like all Team Singularity's fight, but that one small pick off at the start really turned the tables for them.
Foul playing a little bit of ground. Farah there was in the effective range of the Tracer, of course. Shax is going to suffer from major damage drop-off. He is a hit scan DPS, but of course he has that spread and the damage drop. So you can't really deal with the Farah effectively unless they get low, just like we saw Foul do. Foul does, however, have a little bit of an advantage on visibility in terms of ult charge, but Shax already having a pulse bomb. Doesn't look like he picked up anything, though.
No, he did not. And Shaq's actually been found in the back line as well, and he's already used his recoil. That's extremely dangerous, but as soon as that happened, his tanks just dived straight in to make sure Foul couldn't finish him off. There's a Valkyrie being popped by Epps here. Lucio going extremely low, but he should be able to get out of there. Facility actually punishes Foul for going so low to the ground again. Obling with the pulse bomb isn't going to be able to find that Mercy in midair, but he's just happy to contest the point for the time being. But just walks straight into the pit. Looks like it's actually going to be a complete reset, so that wasn't actually too confusing. The fight looked to 50-50 up until that point, but Molfig decides the same fate is soon enough for him too.
Well, I found it questionable at first. I didn't realize it was going to be a reset, but this is actually a pretty good thing for Team Singularity. You can see the discipline they've been instilled with. They're not going to fight out for long. The second that they call a reset, their shot caller says, okay, we need to get out of this fight. We need to play this for time. Obling goes straight down that pit. However, they're going to need to play very, very conscious of time at the moment. 65% ready for Orgless and Hungry.
A self-destruct. Only Foul took a little bit of damage. He does need healing at some point, but Molfig and Nerf are going and doing work on the back line. Foul finds Epps eventually. They still have ults to work with as well. Obling is going to build up to that pulse bomb extremely quickly, but he's just trying to find Shax. Shax has already hit that recall, and Nerf ends up finishing him off as well. This Singularity duo in Lind and Nerf calling out targets is working out absolutely stupendously for them. A complete reset from Finzi here is probably the smartest move.
Absolutely. Making sure that he wasn't hanging around for too long. Doesn't want to get staggered out, but of course it's really hard to stagger out a Diva when there's that big pit in the middle. And now Team Singularity, they're feeling pretty comfortable. They've got 4 ultimates. Obling's quickly going to have that pulse bomb, but really, they need to be incredibly conscious of protecting Lind here. Orgless and Hungry have the ability to try and force out a Transcendence early. They need to make sure that Lind is able to use that Transcendence at his leisure rather than have it forced out by Shax in the back.
Yeah, and as soon as that does get used, oh, you best believe I'll be there with the ultimate as well. Does look like they're actually going to break one out instantly. That is going to be a pulse bomb straight onto the bubble, but Obling ends up going down, takes the 1v1 with Shax. Shax has actually found himself at the back line as well. Lind in a lot of trouble throwing out the orbs, can't quite land any of them at all, and Shax just dances around it. Meanwhile, Foul is going to be able to de-suit Finzi, but Facility is going to get revenge. Now, that Valkyrie is still in effect, although just wearing off the cave actually as soon as I say that. Facility still raining death from above. There's no one to actually deal with him right now, so Molfig is literally a sitting duck, has to activate his self-destruct to be able to remake, because the rest of his team are just going to be in so much trouble with Facility. They have to deal with him, and they have to deal with him now.
Nerfed Obling and Molfig really bringing that one back, picking up a kill each and dismantling what looked like a very dangerous situation. Orgless and Hungry, they invested quite a bit in that fight. They invested the Sound Barrier and the Valkyrie, both their support ults are gone. We saw Lind swap over to that Moira, trying to get back to the point more quickly. You thought that could have been the final fight, but now Orgless and Hungry, they're on their last legs as well. Team Singularity only need 25% to claim Ilios.
And Lind has gone down already. Tonic actually finds him with a Primal Rage. That's a massive loss of healing there for Team Singularity. They need to be able to pick up the slack now. Foul ends up going down to some rocket boosters. Team Singularity getting staggered time and time again here. Orgless and Hungry really have dominant control, although I say that as Tonic ends up falling to Obling. But you can see Facility is just free to charge his rocket barrage here. There's nothing really stopping him in mid-air right now. Gets the nice back piece there, but nothing there to stop it realistically. It was just peppering the tanks, making sure they go low and actually forcing out that Primal Rage as well. They're going to be able to touch with it again, but Nerfed, as soon as he gets out of that, he's going to need some rapid healing, otherwise he's going to fall as well.
And now Facility has the advantage in the air. Cave has been forced to swap over to the emergency Lucia. There's going to be no pharmacy, and Files already down. Facility taken out Nerfed as well.
99 to 91%. Orgless and Hungry have broken it down. They still need to cap that point. It's ticking down in overtime. Finzi's going to take out Cave. All supports are now dead for Team Singularity. The timer ticks over. The fight has been cleaned up. A self-destruct has to be big, but everybody's just going to dash away into cover. 5% to go. They're just trying to find these staggers. Obling comes in. Overtime ticks down. He's going to be able to touch again, but not for Facility. He can get his hands on him. Monkey jumps in as well, although no Primal Rage, and a sicky pulse bomb right on top of you, and Shax cleans up the fight. Lind, you're in no man's land now. You're in Shax territory, and that will be Orgless and Hungry taking Ilios.
Absolutely. And I'd really like to point out the tracer play here between both teams. Last week, we didn't really see as much from Shaxx as we'd come to expect from what we saw on the desk and what the other teams had told us. But today, he's really shown up, and so have Obling and Fal, both of them picking up the tracer at different points here, and pretty much holding their own with Shaxx. But Shaxx, very good with those pulse bombs, that much is for certain.
Yeah, exactly. And that is the experience coming out from Team Singularity. I think they're kind of finding their groove now. Lind and Nerf doing a fantastic job of calling targets, it seemed. Every single time you see Nerf jump on someone, he's always discorded and he goes down. But Orgless and Hungry do win it out in the end. That DPS duo is just so terrifying to deal with.
And now Orgless and Hungry, they're feeling it. They're on the front foot. However, it is going to be Team Singularity who get to pick the second map. My bet's on Hollywood, Jules.
Oh, we'll have to wait and see. We're going to jump to a quick break. We'll be back in a minute. Hey guys, welcome back. My name is George, joined by Legday once again. We're about to get into our second map of Orgless and Hungry versus Team Singularity. Harry's bet is probably going to be Hollywood, but Numbani is also on the cards.
I think that Numbani, they don't really want to deal with that mid-range battle with Facility on the Soldier 76. They may want to go there so that Fal can attack on the... Oh yes, I was correct.
I know what it is. There we go.
They're still, of course, going to have to deal with Facility on the Soldier, likely sitting up in the cafe. He's got his supports at his back. We're probably going to play a little bit of a trifecta up there, be incredibly hard to dive. But I imagine Team Singularity do have a plan. They're very proficient with the dive themselves.
Yeah, that they are, and in fact, a lot of these teams that we kind of pegged as middle of the table, like Team Singularity and like Orgless and Hungry, are very good on those 2-2-2 dives. It's kind of what they've been used to over the last couple of patches. But with Sombra coming into the mix as well, Sombra's just been so impactful, and Facility has that in his wheelhouse, and I want to see him pull it out. In all honesty, Hollywood is one of the maps where you can use it on the defense. It can be extremely effective. So many small spaces you can use the EMP, and so many health packs that are so close to the rest of your team as well to hack. It's a big question mark, in all honesty, what these teams do want to pick on the defense. Team Singularity, they're on the defense first, and Orgless Hungry, they're going to go for the offense.
Call me a forward thinker, but I'm most worried for Team Singularity here on the second point of Hollywood, because we saw on Ilios Ruins that Facility was winning out the Widow duels against Obling pretty consistently, and those Widow duels can sometimes determine the entire outcome of the second point. They may not decide to go for a Widow duel again. Obling, his confidence may have been shaken, and that's a common theme with Widow players. You really need to start feeling it, and if you lose your nerve as a Widow, you generally starts going downhill pretty fast. Yeah,
that it does. It can be quite frustrating to deal with an enemy Widowmaker, you know, is getting the shots before you. Obviously, if you have a site priority as well without the info sites, she's got your number on lockdown. There's very, very common spaces where you set up your Widow and you know where she's going to be roughly, but realistically, if she's got the sites there first, you're going to get your head clicked on and you will end up going down. Team Singularity did hover the Torbjorn, as always, but hey-ho, never going to see it. Not in Hollywood. Too many easy places to dive.
And here on Team Singularity, they're once again bringing out the old combination of Zenyatta and Mercy, and that's going to all be about making sure Obling is enabled and protected on top of that cafe, making sure that should they dive him, he can sit there and fight. We're going to be having the Harmony Orb, the Biotic Field, and of course the Pocket Healing, and the damage boost as well, should it be required.
Ooh, okay. I was hoping that would actually ding someone, but it didn't. I love the damage boosted right clicks from the Zenyatas. Does a lot of damage. No damage drop off on those orbs, so you've got to be very, very careful some of the time. Facility hopping onto that Pharah though, not too much of a surprise, but with Obling on that Soldier, he's actually going to be able to take high ground here, but he is going to get damage boosters by Cave.
Once again, it's going to be Shaxx and Pharah going in for the Tracer doors. Will they wish to take those? Oh, okay, Shaxx already down, courtesy of Obling.
Tonic just dives straight in, but that leaves Facility to just come up massive with 2 kills already. Cave's going to fall, Lin's going to go down as well. Molfik does get a bit of revenge here, but for what cause, in all honesty? Pharah's got a Discord Orb, and he's on extremely low. He's going to have to play around health pack, and in fact, Epps is just going to take him out of the fight completely. Rounded up already. Orgless and Hungary win the fight on the first push.
Indeed, and Team Singularity there, they didn't play where I was expecting. They didn't play in the cafe. Obling's going to swap over to the Widowmaker. I don't think they've got time for a re-engagement here. They're just setting up for second. We'll have to see if Facility swaps over himself. As I was saying, they weren't really playing on the cafe. They decided to play on the low ground behind the dumpster. They were maybe anticipating that they were going to avoid a triple tank composition coming in, not get hooked. They'll have a little bit more cover from a Roadhog, but instead it just meant that they had no roofs to hide under when the Pharah came knocking from above, and Facility really took advantage of that. But now it's going to be Facility on the Genji.
All right, okay, so he's not actually going to jump on the Widow to match Obling. It's going to be Shaxx this time around. Give me the Widow, it's my turn around. My time to shine. Now, Immortal actually, all right, Tonic goes down first. Got to be very, very careful. Tonic, it's pretty squishy when he's got a Discord Orb on him. Again, that's kind of what we spoke about Singularity, their ability to call out these targets and their synergy with Nerf and Lind doing a fantastic job. Nerf's actually going to take out Tonic, and they should be able to clean up the rest of the fight. Facility and Fincy do end up falling. And now Obling has emphasized. That's the first fight they've won here, and he already has the ultimate built up.
Indeed, unfortunately for Tonic, he died, he lived, and he died again. He was just rezzed in a little bit of a position where he was incredibly vulnerable. Molfig, Lind, and Nerf decided to jump upon him, quickly reducing 500 HP to 0, but now Shaxx is opening it up. He's got the headshot onto Obling, and now the tanks are in a vulnerable position here.
Cheeky tanks, but Shaxx is actually going to find that kill getting revived instead. Obling is going to get back up. Facility has a Discord Orb on him, so he's going to have to play a little bit more cautiously around the cart. He's going to receive a little bit of healing. That's a lot of healing actually from Epps, who's actually popped the Transcendence. Mofik, does he actually get taken down here? He might just do. Yeah, 2 people dive him straight away as soon as he sends out that self-destruct, so can't remech. Now it's 1 tank down, and Obling's going to get beaten off the high ground as well by Tonic, who's got that Primal Rage.
But Nerf's been doing such a good job here. Pop that Primal Rage, and he forced Epps to use that Transcendence. Oh, okay, Cave's going down to the self-destruct, and now Fincy's free to just stick around on the cart, get a little bit of free push, but Far's going to be coming in to contest him. Yeah, there's absolutely no way Fincy wins the fight. He has to back off. If he gets demeg, that might be a big stagger, but very high HP. Does manage to get out alive, and now Orgless Hungry going for a complete reset. Obling again near that emphasize. These 98%. This guy's an absolute monster. Every single fight we do see the emphasize come out. It gives them so much information. Facility has got Blade though, so that's something to keep in mind. Speaking of Blade, speaking of Valkyrie as well, that's 1 damage boosted Genji, and he is making Obling's life hell. Tonic is going to take down Lind also. This is Orgless. This is Orgless's fight to win now. They do manage to find a D.Va as well, who has been discorded. No Mercy healing is going to help you through that. They're going to bow to back off here in this corner, maybe go for a re-engage. 3 minutes left on the clock, and that car is reaching those doors very, very soon. Nerf, of course, does have that Primal Rage, so he's ready to feed his body onto the car and get that extra 1000 HP. There it is. It is going to be contested just in time, and he's already picked up Fincy. Fincy was out of the mech and actually was half HP as well. Nerf just took 1 swipe at him, and he was already going to go down. Fincy finds Obling once again on the Widowmaker, who is just way out of position. Can't no longer contest it. They managed to cap the point. They got 4 minutes remaining as well. Facility is going to clean up the rest of the scraps. Fincy and Tonic are going to be able to move forward now and get priority positions on these tanks. Obling, feeling brave, is going to go for the Genji off with Facility, but Facility is very close to that Blade once again, already 88%, and now he's got advanced positioning as well. If they can really try and keep this up, stay around here, then Orgless and Hungry may be able to get only like 1 solid fight out of the offense here. Team Singularity, if they want to try and engage early, make sure they can get 2 fights out of this final stage if they lose the first.
Oh, post bomb. Just managed to dash away. He has got the blade also, but Foul does manage to find the D-Mech nerfed. It's just zapping away at Fincy. Does find Foul, yes, but at what cost? He hasn't got control of that health pack anymore. That was the tank priority that I was talking about. You've got to be able to just sit there and just reap the rewards of being next to the HP pack. He's going to dash through another couple of targets, but he can't really make anything work just yet. Has to wait for his tank. Speaking of tanks, has a big Primal Rage in the back line and a self-destruct. However, looked like an early Transcendence from Lind. This could be very detrimental. As soon as he comes out, he's just going to get hacked and slashed, cut up and torn to pieces by Facility, who's just running rampant now. He finds himself a double kill, and even Obling having to back off and gets taken down regardless.
Great communication there from Orgless and Hungry. Facility told his team that he had the blade, and the rest of Orgless and Hungry had to turn up the pressure, make sure that Lind felt the need to use that Transcendence of Facility, was then a very happy boy, able to easily get in onto his Omnic Master.
Oh, Mortal is going to make everybody else immortal now as he pops that Valkyrie. Shax has already found nerf to look at Molfig, already demeched as well. They're going to try and deck out the back lines here. EPZ is going to go down. Epps didn't really stand a chance, but Obling, can he clean anything else up? He's taken out one support, but the tanks are just hammering at him. The easy left click from the Winston and the D.Va, taking him out from the fight. Round one's going to go over to Orgless and Hungry with a very healthy time bank.
Very healthy indeed. Now the gauntlet has been thrown. Of course, this was Team Singularity's map pick. I'll have to see if they're going to bring out something special on the offense.
You got to think they kind of have to at this point. There was only 2 instances where they really got stuck and their cart stopped moving, and that was the entrance to the streets where Obling kind of took over the game. But apart from that, they found it very easy to deal with that Widowmaker, and even Shax just turning up on the pick as well.
Indeed, Shax tried to win out the Widow duel against Obling. They went pretty even, however. There was a very intelligent swap coming through from Orgless and Hungry. Shax decided to swap off the Widow when they were going even, and I thought, okay, that's a little bit strange. But the reason they did it was because they were going to commit Facility with the blade to just taking out Obling and put Shax down on the low ground, make sure he could take out the supports and the tanks. He didn't need to worry about Obling because it was Facility's problem now. They're like, okay, Facility, you are the anti-Widow. I'm going to swap over to the Tracer, help out our team on the ground, and we're going to get a little bit of payload progress. You just need to deal with Obling. That's exactly what he did.
We saw very lack of Pharah play as well, which is honestly quite surprising. Doesn't make too much sense, especially when you come out of the streets phase, and it was actually Foul that was, it was, I think, Facility, on the offense that was actually running it through. But the issue there was you were so close to Rocket Barrage, maybe you make it work. I know you're coming up against a Widow, but you've got to think, send your tanks in first, disrupt her, and then I can try and get on the back line with that Mercy as well to just help me through it.
Yeah, maybe that would have been a good idea, but Shax didn't do too poorly on the Widow. Can't really fold it. Facility feeling pretty nice on the Genji as well. Eventually out-Genjing Obling as he decided to swap. But now Team Singularity, it's their turn to attack. Looks like they're going for a similar sort of engagement that Orgless and Hungry went for. But let's see if Orgless and Hungry are going to play it more of a cafe, so they've got the cover from that Pharaoh due to the pillars and the rooftop, which they can go under towards that health pack. Or if they're going to play it a little bit further back and be incredibly vulnerable.
See, they are going up to the cafe now. Now they recognize they were actually hollering around the cart to make sure they had that option to them. Do we hang around the boxes in case of that triple tank, or do we go on top of that cafe so we can take out Farl and we have the prime priority position on there? Damage boosted rocket. Facility is going to get taken out already. And Foul, look what he can do now. Just rain in rockets straight into that cafe, although almost kills himself as he does chip one off the roof, the rafters. EPZ taking him extremely low as well. Molfig does find Tonic. Foul kept nice and healthy though, and actually a res is going to come through also. In fact, Cave actually does get taken down. I take that completely back as Facility finds the duo.
That was incredibly intelligent from the defense of Orgless and Hungry. Nerfed and Molfig went in for a super deep dive, trying to deny that res from Immortal, make sure that Facility couldn't get back into the fight, but instead all of Team Singularity peeled back. They decided, okay, you can take positioning here, because we're going to make sure that Immortal has the space to bring back Facility. They bullied out the tanks from Team Singularity. They didn't have enough healing because Lin didn't have a sight line, and Cave was stuck up in the air with Farl. And Cave then had to peel away from Farl, leave him a little bit vulnerable. He took a little bit too much damage, and then we saw it all fall apart from there.
Not quite the one-push wonder that Orgless Hungry did have. They've still got 2 minutes and 25 in the time bank. Pretty healthy if you ask me. Shax is going to find the pulse one, throws it out, but doesn't quite find anybody with it, but it doesn't matter because he's going to be able to clean up Lind. He has to be careful though, because Foul, with that rocket barrage, is going to be able to take prime position. He lays it on the cafe, but Ebbs is actually going to take him out regardless. Shax retreating now to that large health pack. They are taking the point, and Shax is going to be able to re-enter the site as well. Opening goes down, Molfig, wrong place, wrong time, buddy. And that self-destruct got absolutely nobody, and Orgless and Hungary clean up the fight.
I'm not a fan of how Morphic played that at all. We saw Fall go in deep into the cafe for that barrage. He was going very low, and Morphic flew right past him, and I thought, okay, he's gonna soak Fall in his defense matrix as he goes to a barrage, but no, he was just laying down more damage onto Facility. Sure, he got a kill, but that kill would have come through anyway from a barrage. You're not going to do more damage than a barrage, you just need to try and protect Fall. They didn't have any support, so there was no healing, no support for Fall as he went in for that ultimate, and that ultimately doomed them.
Facility got instantly orbed there and had to drop because he took too many orbs coming through from Lind. Very, very careful now as the Primal Rage and Winston's going to land on top of it in that Bionic Field. Not helping you now, mate. Nerf is going to take him out, and Obling's going to take out Tonic in the end, but Shax is on the back line already. Lind's forced to pop the Transcendence, but that might be exactly what they need. Cave gets the res on to the Monkey also. The Tactical Visor. Facility, where's the targets, my friend? Everybody's straight into cover. That Winston was actually body blocking for half of that fight, and he actually gets taken out by Fall, the target he was actually trying to secure. Now Shax, with the two-piece, can he clean up Lind? He ends up securing the kill, but Nerf's on the point, taking care of his healers as well.
There are just so many threats on the side of Orgless and Hungry. They're going in deep on Facility, trying to shut down his ultimate, and credit to Nerf, he did a great job of taking him out with that Primal Rage, but the fight's still going on. Obling taking out from the back by Shax. Morphic's going to be the next snack in his little buffet. And that's going to be Orgless and Hungry sitting pretty with only 45 seconds remaining for Team Singularity. 2 ticks accrued. But it's looking a little bit desperate. Fall almost has another barrage. This is all going to be down to how much support they can give Fall as he goes in for his ultimate. We can't see any more mistakes. Morphic, you need to put that defense matrix on him. Keep him protected.
Shax is just, he's on fire right now, and this guy has just seemed invincible at this point. There's no way he's losing these duels to Obling either. Has got health pack priority as well, goes for the recall, can't quite find the dash, he's got one left in him. Can he get it in the end? But this is what we have to see here. Fall, he's trying to make his way into the fight. The tanks are on the wrong side though. Molfig has to save that defense matrix like you were saying, but they're going to go for a deep dive on top of him. 10 seconds remaining. He just needs to find a key target, and that is going to be Ebbs. Ebbs takes a direct rocket to the face, and Fall ends up finding the kill. But the problem is, he's still got to deal with that soldier. Facility gets knocked sky high and finds the kill on him regardless. He's on the wrong side of the map though now, but it might just be enough for him. Distracted the Winston long enough, and now Fincy's on the cart. Molfig already had the D-Mech and the D-Suit there, and he instantly gets hacked. And in fact, hang on a second here, because Lind just clutch coming in at the last second on that Sombra, manages to make it to the point in time. And Shax, he might be immortal, but the rest of his team are definitely not.
Absolutely. Shax just hanging around there, getting a couple of nice clips in. However, fight was already lost as for the point had flipped over to the side of Team Singularity, who now are granted 2 minutes and 30 seconds with which to play on point B. However, they need to make up a time deficit here. Orgless and Hungary have 2 minutes 25 in their time bank. Team Singularity need to turn off the brakes on that payload.
Well, Foul gets taken out instantly as soon as he actually came out. This is what I said a minute ago. You've got to be really careful when you're sky high. Speaking of sky high, Facility sends Cave up to the heavens. Tonic manages to take out Obling as well. Orgless and Hungry just making an absolute meal of Singularity. There's no way they will let anybody get out alive. That's a team kill for them.
Orgless and Hungry managed that engagement so well. They had both their supports with Facility, making sure that he could take out both Cave and Molfig here. Well, they knew that Tonic had the Primal Rage. He went into the back. There was not enough healing for Obling to sustain him. He managed to kill him with a vanilla Winston play. Then when he got under pressure from Lind, he managed to pop the Primal Rage and just control that cart. No push has really been gained here.
Oh, see that Bionic Field? It completely missed as he got knocked off the top once again, but it didn't seem to matter. Apparently, there's Foul's ultimate, but Shax is easily able to deal with him. Lind, you got to be careful, and so does Obling. They're in the back, but kept alive by that Mercy, funnily enough. Shax is still trying to find Lind, although against a double support duo, we've seen that time and time again. Over and over, your Tracer gets taken out as soon as he gets Discord awed, but didn't seem to matter at all, because your supports are doing most of the work for you, Shax. No worries. Tonic finds the kill onto Lind, and now they're just going to go for the grand stagger as Cave is trapped in a building with the Zen. Taken out by the spawn. Obling, not going to be too impressed. They got 45 seconds remaining and 3 ults to work with.
And it's the third time I've said it, but it seems to be a consistent problem. Fall either needs to communicate his ults better, or Molfig needs to take more responsibility for protecting him when he's so vulnerable. That's when the Pharah is easiest to kill. When they are sitting still, a sitting duck, they're putting out a huge amount of damage, but you've got to be able to protect them during that duration.
They just put so much effort into trying to make that rocket barrage work, and it just did not happen. Orgless and Hungry looking to take it right here, right now, and go to match point. Opening trying to find a sneaky headshot, but can't quite get it around the corridor. You know Shax is there, but Shax a little bit more careful, actually playing into the building now. Opening tries to go for the sky high, but doesn't quite land the shot. Not the headshot at least, and he gets a body shot and it does a little bit of damage. Cave takes out, Tonic takes out Cave, sorry. Invisibility open up the tactical visor, but everybody's kept alive using that Transcendence, that bubble blocking his way as well. Completely shut down by the support and Monkey duo, but doesn't seem to matter at all. Lin just gets all, Facility just gets all the support in the world. This guy's basically invincible as well. Immortal popping that Valkyrie is going to be able to keep his team alive, and the rest of them punching as well with that damage boost. They're going to clean house, and overtime ticking down. That'll lead Orgless and Hungry to take Hollywood.
They've got like 4 kills in that fight, including out-sniping Oberling through like the narrowest of margins. They just seemed a little bit discombobulated here from Team Singularity. They couldn't really make the pushes work. They couldn't all get behind Farah when he was playing on that Farah, and you've really got to invest in that Farah when you're going up against a soldier as good as Facility is. And if you're not paying that much respect to Facility, he's gonna farm you.
Yeah, he really will. I mean, there was a couple of points in the game where I was like, he's dead. No, he's not. Every single support ultimate came out just to make sure he could stay alive. And I got to say, I think Team Singularity tried a little bit too hard to try and use that Farah role. And I did mention it earlier on and say, you know, maybe you should just try and set that up, because it's a very strong ultimate that can instantly take out a couple of supports. But that's exactly what they did, kind of proved my point completely wrong, and Team Singularity end up going down in the streets phase.
And, well, that does mean that Orgless and Hungry are going to be sitting on match point now. They want to drive a stake into the heart of Team Singularity, who yet again will be able to pick the map as we move into Assault. Ooh, it's going to be a doozy.
It's going to be a close one. We already pinned it as one of the matches to watch today. We're going to jump to a quick break, and we'll be back momentarily.